Speaker. Now, the government, they want to say that they're doing everything they can, but they've spent, Mr. Speaker, less than 1% on what they spent on the COVID-19 health crisis. This is not responding to a health crisis in the way that needs to happen. We saw how they can respond. SARS, HIV, COVID. They need to do what they did there. They need to pull everyone together. They can't just download and say, well, treatments for the provinces and recovery. Portugal, we saw what they did. They stepped up. They showed us that what courage looks like, what's needed, investments in therapeutic treatment, in housing, and ensuring that we're dealing with this issue as a health crisis, not a criminal issue. So it takes a multifaceted approach, Mr. Speaker, and I really am encouraging that today. But we need to do simply more than, that we talked about. We need to listen to experts. It's so important that everybody in this House, listens to experts. And I traveled across this country when I was talking about my bill, C-216, which was, just a reflection of the expert task force on substance use, Mr. Speaker. And I was able to meet with people on the front line of this crisis, people who use substances, experts, and the whole time they encouraged us to listen to the report, Mr. Speaker. The Chiefs of Police of Canada, as I cited, they've come forward with very much in line with what the expert task force had, and they actually had a seat on that task force, which was unanimous, and that we need to stop criminalizing people who use substances. We need to expunge records for people that have been charged with personal possession, that we need to ensure that people have access to a safe supply and treatment on demand. So we meet them where they're at, that we invest in recovery and education and prevention, because we know when people relapse that we need to catch them, but we also need to meet them where they're at through the whole thing. Now, Mr. Speaker, my bill was defeated. As you know, the Conservatives teamed up with the majority of the Liberals, and they voted against my bill, which was supported by the Bloc, the Greens, and the NDP. And I know the Bloc still had some issues with my bill, but they wanted to at least get it to committee and listen to the experts, which both the Conservatives and Liberals wouldn't do, despite the fact this just reflected the government's own expert task force